Joseph, Mabel tells you something's going to happen tonight.
What do you mean something's going to happen tonight?
There's strange things around today.
Stranger than you, Mabel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Stranger than me. It should be fun.
If you say so.
All right. So, Bo, you've gone to the ship where James is sort of keeping guard. And James, you've noticed every now and again one of the farmers comes up and you can see. Are you on the ship or are you on the shore? Near your ship.
I'm now on the shore. I've spent the afternoon sort of on the ship, just making sure that security has been stepped up and everyone's having like constant watches and just making sure that no one's gonna, if there is an attack on the ship, that because I'm not expecting too much because they're just farmers, fishermen. Yeah. But on the other hand, a 12-inch, serrated fishing knife can still do some damage. So,
right.
Everyone's sort of, they're alert but not alarmed.
Right, okay. So you've got a crew of about 11, 12 other people on the ship. What have you told them?
Basically that the ship's been seen by some of the farmers aren't doing too well, on their farms and stuff, and that they might see this as an opportunity to get even with the world, and thusly, they're sailors. So sailors don't really. I assume sailors, at least I know, don't have a very high opinion of farmers and vice versa. So basically, I think that they may try and come on board and take some stuff because they feel it's owed to them. So I just want to let a rotating. There's always somebody on watch, so that when if something happens, they can and alert you. Yeah. And what have you.
Okay.
But at the moment, once that's been established, I would then go back on shore.
Yeah.
So, probably at this point look for accommodation because I'm not coming back to the house after that. After that funeral. So yeah.
Okay, so you find James near the docks then.
I walk up to him. Did I notice any of the farmers about at all?
Yeah. Like, the farmers have been sort of coming, staring, going, and Bo, you've noticed this. You've been back here often enough to know this is strange behavior, and the farmers don't usually hang out in the docks. They hang out in their farms, where they farm.
Sure. I go up to Bo, and to James. James, we have to go and find Benjamin. The lad Spencer, he's going to lead us. Okay. We got to find out what happened to Maeve. What's going on here? Why are the Claude farmers?
Because they're
eyeing you. They're jealous of you.
They tried to intimidate me before because they want some of my cargo because they think that they deserve it because they're just farmers. All right, let's go find Benjamin. Let's just get it over with. The sooner we get out of here, the better.
All right. So, what you seem to have some concerns with the farmers?
I've dealt with them. I've dealt with it.
All right.
If they don't bother me, I won't bother them. Good. If they bother me, then I'll bother them.
All right. Let's go then.
All right.
And I'll go to where we told Joseph we would meet him, so he could lead us into the wood.
No.
Yeah.
I'll offer James a drink. I said, you might as well have a drink. You paid for it. You might need it. It's going to be a long night.
Take 2 shots.
Great. So, Joseph, you start leading you're leading the two brothers to the spot that you saw the native. Is that right?
Yes. This way, fellows.
So, sorry. Okay.
Do I have to walk?
Walk this way.
That's not required.
Good.
You start leading them up through the fields, and then past Maeve's house, which is sort of on the border of the forest. And as you're getting closer to the forest, you can see Joseph, you see it first, but all of you can see sort of like lights dancing at the edge of your vision, and you think you can hear music as well.
What did you put in this drink?
Just good Irish whiskey.
You see,
You
fellows,
have to
this is exactly what Mr. Thorne showed me. I've always been too afraid to get any nearer, but
But you've seen this before.
yes, but I've been afraid to tell anybody else. Again, I'm a man of science, and until I fully understand a situation and can publish my studies on it, I don't feel ready to share this with the world. What if another scientist were to steal my work?
What are the odds of that?
There's more things.
In Kill, there are many who would also want to beat me to the punch to publish. But perhaps tonight, emboldened by the whiskey, I would like to allow you you fine gentlemen to go forward while I stay here and study.
But before you make that decision, boy, perhaps we should consult the bones, and maybe that will tell us where it is that you'll lead us.
I did with the goddamn bones.
Come on, Jamie. I'm gonna shake him up,
Yep.
and I'm gonna hold him out for Spencer to pull one.
You play with whatever you want to play with.
Come on, Jamie.
No, I'm not pulling your bone.
Your father's father pulled the bones.
And
See the lights.
while they're talking, Joseph would like to kind of sense what's beyond.
Totally. So we can do both. So let's start off with Joseph, and then we'll go to the custom move that I sent you, Jim. Go for it.
Okay. 10.
10.
I get vision and truths.
Good. So you stare out at what's in the distance, where you can see the flickers of lights, and suddenly Mabel takes over your eyes and your ears, and they become ghostly and a little bit transparent. And suddenly you can see far better what's happening. So you can see ahead of you a glade, and in the glade there are many flickers of lights that are sort of shaped like people, and as well as that there you can see some of the locals, some of the farmers in there as well. And you can see your vision almost seems to have zoom on it. So it sort of zooms in, and you can see, but everything sort of appears as outlines of light. You can see what looks like food and drink, but it's strange, and sort of a canopy that's been set up that's sparkling with light, and it looked like and
Do I sense danger or merriment?
you see merriment, but as you're looking, Mabel is that's the place. Some things are going to change tonight.
Oh, I don't like change. Mabel, have you been to this place?
No, but there's some people like me there, and there's some other people from the forest.
Aha. Well, I kind of take a couple steps backwards.
And then she tells you, that man's there, the man you're all looking for.
I see. And I suppose that the Marco brothers are probably seeing me talk to myself at this point.
Yeah, and like your ears go weird looking.
Seriously,
give that boy
what's
a
in
drink.
what is in that drink?
I'm sorry, fellows. I often talk to myself as I'm conducting complex scientific analysis in my gray matter. But it appears to me that these wisps of light, that there are quite a few of them ahead, and some of them look like that they're maybe related to some of the farmers in the village. And I get the distinct feeling that I just know it, that Mr. Thorne is there, but I'm a little uneasy as to why he would be there in the midst of such a illuminated gathering.
Well, there's only one way to find out. We go ask him.
Yes, do be careful.
Yeah, I will. And I start heading towards the feast.
Bo, did you still want to have a go at the bones, or did you want to chase after James?
I think I'll have to chase after James.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna grab Joseph Spencer by the scruff of his neck and drag him with me
Great.
until I can cast these bones for him. Otherwise, he might not be safe, especially with these visions he's having and all the drink.
Good. Okay, so you, so James, you're marching up first, and
Yes. So I'm better off alone.
So you're trying to put some distance between you and
Yes. Yes.
Bo and Spencer.
Yeah.
And you arrive at the canopy, and you see what looks like a party basically going on.
Yeah.
A very elaborate party. It looks like something that nobody from this area could afford to put on.
Yes.
And a lot of what's there looks like, so there's like a canopy of leaves that somebody's sort of strung over the entry to the forest, and somebody's hung candle lights. You think they're candle lights. And there is somebody playing the fiddle. There's music and dancing, and you can see some of the farmers who are far too distracted by having a good time to notice you. But there's also a lot of people that you don't recognize that look kind of like the person that Joseph described seeing when he went to the woods with Benjamin.
Okay.
And there's also sort of like tables laden with food and drink that looks like you've seen a lot of exotic food and drink. It's not from Kill Kill.
No.
Whatever.
It's like
this
But
is.
obviously, this is my internal logic is that these people are here. Obviously, this is some sort of secret society that they don't want people to know about, where they come and have nice food because it's a famine, but they can afford nice food, but they don't want to sort of advertise that they have nice food because people go, "Oh, give us nice food." So that's all this is. There's nothing, untoward about that. Well, there's something untoward, but there's nothing sort of supernatural, clearly.
And you immediately feel compelled to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, of course. But I assume that I would have done a description before on route, so I know who I'm looking for.
Of Benjamin.
Yes.
Sorry? Yes. Like you've heard his description. Nobody here seems to match it. Not that you can see.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna grab a drink and just grab a drink because I can't grab another thing because I don't have a hand. I grab a drink unless they have one of those like plates with a little clip on it. But I'll grab a drink and then I'll just sort of go up to the nearest sort of, small group of people having fun and be like, hey, have you seen Benjamin? I'm looking for Benjamin. Just trying to be...
Yeah. So you go up to take a drink.
Yes.
And there's 3 sort of options for you to choose from. There's sort of a golden liquid, a dark red liquid, and then something that looks almost sky blue.
I think that I would probably go with the dark red on the basis that you find something that's close to what you know. So I assume, oh, yes, wine. I'll
Port.
take that.
Yes, that makes sense.
Port wine, yes.
Okay. So,
And I take a swig of...
so as you take a swig, you're suddenly, like, you suddenly think about something that you really want, that you've been chasing for a long time, but you've never seemed to grasp. What is it?
It is the deeds to the family farm, the family shop.
Right. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. The deeds to the family shop.
Not your older brother's love and respect.
God, no.
And as you walk over to the first person to ask about Benjamin, they immediately start talking to you about the family shop.
Okay. Like asking questions or just talking about how awesome the shop is? And how I should be running it?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, of course I should be running it because I'm the merchant. I'm the smart one. And yeah, and I did involve into how I'd run. I could run this town basically through that shop if I just sort of had the shop and then and then I did this and then I did that and then set up these. And I just start laying out my grand plan for the area.
Good. At this point, I think Bo and Joseph arrive.
Yeah.
Do we see him talking to?
Yeah.
Like they look like fluorescent-y.
No, they look like normal people to you, Bo.
Oh.
To
Okay.
Joseph, they
But
look exactly like the native that you saw, but they're sort of glowing inside.
But they're in the woods.
Yes.
And they got a big party going on.
Exactly.
I'm gonna think that that's probably weird, and I'm gonna pull Joseph to the ground, and I'm gonna shake the bones again. I'm gonna say, Spencer boy, you got to choose the bones. We got to see what's going on.
Okay.
They shouldn't be having parties in the woods on the night of my sister's funeral.
And I'm just terrified. I'm terrified by
It's a
sailors.
shame.
I'm terrified by Bo.
He's generally terrified.
Yeah, and these people are looking at you like they know that you're there, even though you should be out of sight.
Okay.
Right.
At Joseph, not Bo.
Yes, Mr. Marco. So yes, the bones.
Draw a bone.
And as I draw the bones, I'm actually also trying to read the situation. I'm like looking around.
All right, let's do the bone move first, and then we'll do read the situation.
10.
10, killing it.
Whoa.
10. Well, after 2 1s in a row.
So you can ask 2 of these questions.
I gotta ask 2 questions.
Mhm.
I would like to know who or what I should be afraid of.
Yeah. So you immediately get a feeling like you look at the food and the drink that's before you, and while like it looks like the food looks very sumptuous and like exotic, and the drink looks like it would be delicious, but you get this taste in your mouth of like horrible ash, and suddenly you look at the bones, and the bones are the bones have come up with the sign for famine. So your interpretation is that there's something weird about the food and drink. You should be on the lookout for that.
Okay. Who or what will aid or guide me?
Who or what will aid or guide you?
And hopefully not it's Scaredy Cat Spencer.
So I was just about to say.
That would be great, actually.
Yeah. The bow.
What's inside
The
him?
bow just spins around and points at Spencer.
Spencer, you're a hero, boy. It's your dream. You're gonna save us all.
I know. I am one of the greatest minds of our generation.
So what, you were doing something, Joseph?
So as he was rolling the bones, I was trying to take more of an analytical view to read the situation of the party around us. So to read the situation, I'm kind of, as you know, I've been really deep in my studies about the Irish lumper potato, and I've been studying a lot of local vegetation and agriculture, and I take a very close look at the party and the food that people are eating, and I'd like to read the situation.
Yeah. Go for it.
And I don't read very well.
When James approached, James, nobody reacted at all. Everybody was just involved in their merrymaking.
Right.
But Joseph, as you're sort of looking at this potato, and almost because you don't want to look at anything else, it's like sort of overwhelming.
La 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 la.
Like
Potato.
two of the natives sort of come over to you and Bo, and they turn to Bo and they say, "Welcome, have a drink."
You don't look like a Dugan or an O'Leary or a Shaughnessy. Where are you from? You don't seem to be from these parts. I don't recognize these people, right?
No, not at all. They say, "It's not important. We're having a party. We're just having a good night. Come and dance with us."
It's the night of my sister's funeral. I'll dance at yours.
Nice. And Bo, you actually feel...
Where's my brother?
You're filled with the compulsion to go along with them. Can you, how did you want to try and resist that? Or what is Bo thinking? As you suddenly find yourself compelled to go along with what they're saying.
I would probably want to call on my kin's way, the knowledge of my kin, to try and... Obviously, this is out of sorts with the lights before, the strange music. I know my brother doesn't believe in anything, but we do. So, 8. So I get to choose from 2 of you have knowledge of your kin. Ask the GM for your family's beliefs about a situation, place, or person. So it would be these weird forest party people.
Yeah.
Take a +1 if you act on them. You have the clout of your kin. Speak with the will of your kin and give +1 to any who follow it. Or you have the tools of your kin. So I would assume it would probably be the first 2, having some knowledge and some clout. And then I guess the negative would be I choose one between compromise your kin's position, or you make your kin an enemy, or you reveal your kin's weakness.
Yeah.
So I think with this, I would try and kind of... I already know that the food and drink is bad. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to call upon the clout of our family and yell to Jamie to get back here with us and put down their damn food and drink, and then whatever knowledge I might have. Mm-hmm. And while I yell at him doing that, I will reveal our kin's weakness towards gold and all that glitters, and saying, it doesn't matter, how much damn money they've promised you or whatever they've said. I know you can't resist it, boy, but get back here.
So you recall an old like tale that your family has, which is like back from their traveling days. And it's like, you know, eat and drink with many different people, travel the lands and talk to many different people. But if you come to the forest at night and see a feast there, do not eat and drink with those people. And you remember this, like, it's like the very, it's like anybody else, but this is this one circumstance.
Which we've seemed to tick all the boxes here.
Yeah, it does seem to tick the boxes. So do you want to roll acting under pressure with a +2 from those two to try and get through to James?
Oh. Okay, I rolled a 6, but you said +2, so that's an 8, and I'm +2 on balance.
Nice.
So
that's a 10.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, so so James, you are sort of snapped out of the conversation and the oblivion that you're in, and even though you for like a moment you had completely lost track of the world around you and what was going on and thought this was the most normal circumstance in the world, you suddenly remember, you know, how you kind of came to be here. So we'll come back to that in the moment, but I just wanted to cut over to Joseph. So while this has been taking place and one of the people from the party's been talking to Bo, another one that you don't recognize sort of pulls you aside and actually knows you by name, and it says, Joseph, like, come this way, and pulls you out of the party and sort of around into the woods. Once you're out of sight of everybody else, his face changes from one of the natives into Benjamin's face.
Whoa. Mr. Thorne, is that you?
And he says, Joseph, you shouldn't be here.
I'm not quite sure that I want to be here, but I was kind of dragged along. We were, well, you know, your wife died.
That's not important now. There are things that are going to happen tonight that you won't want to be here for. I'm telling you because I know you're like me. You're not one of these stupid humans wandering around. There's something more to you.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I don't like the sound of danger. But one question: Did you kill your wife? I'm sorry, that's incredibly rude of me to ask, but I must know.
Oh god. He stares at you really coldly, and then he says, "That's my affairs, not yours, but do you want to read a person?"
Yeah, sure. So, roll plus my big brain to read their thoughts. And that's 8 plus 2, it's a 10.
Nice.
Yes. So I could, I guess pick,
yeah. You can either, so with read a person, you can either ask them, like, straight up, or you can keep the conversation going and ask them whenever you want in the conversation.
Okay. And I'll tell him, like, you know, Mr. Thorne, of course, I'll believe you, whatever you say. Mm-hmm. But the whole village is talking, and poor Bliss, you know, he needs to know what happened to his mother. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, so he says, Bliss is how's Bliss? Is Bliss doing okay?
He's distraught, sir. He won't speak. He hasn't said a single word since the death.
Yes, I'm not surprised. I would have come and got him before, but I couldn't. I had to be here tonight. I'll come and find him tomorrow.
I saw something. I saw Bliss's shadow, so to speak. Not that I believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. I guess as one of my moves, I'm wondering to myself, how can I get this character to reveal more about what happened to his wife?
Make it.
Could I trick him?
You could, yeah, you could try and trick him, if you could think of a way to outsmart him. Or you could try it and make it seem like it's not that important. He's worried that you are too human to understand what happened. Even though he knows you're something else as well. And so that's why he doesn't want to talk about it. And you're also too tied to the village.
I see. Yes, so one of my special moves is to outsmart people because I am a scholar. So I will pretend to hold my book on the Irish lumper, and I'm covering the title, and I say, I have in this book the rarest book of the necromancy of the Egyptians. And in this book, it tells me certain things about the dangers that may come. I'm willing to help you if you can help shed some light on what happened.
What kind of dangers?
The Egyptian sort, the ones with the dogs of heads on humans with gold staffs and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, give it a go. I mean, like, he's seen a lot of things that mortals don't know about, so...
Cats and dogs living together?
Well, that's a 5 plus a 2, which is... Oh, it's a 7. So I succeed, and I get to choose one of... so I succeed, but something bad happens. I might lose something precious. I might compromise my principles, or maybe they'll know what happened later. I will compromise my principles, and I will kind of whisper to him and say, I know I've never told anybody, but since you are dead and all, I actually do believe in ghosts. In fact, it appears lately that I have become one, a girl named Mabel.
Yes. He says, yes, like, it's, of course I knew that, and I was waiting for when you would wake up to it and see that you're not like all the other people here. You don't need to be as boring as them. Tell me what the book says.
No, you tell me what you tell me what happened to your wife.
Okay. Yeah, so...
In a rare moment of bravery, he kind of just stammers and...
We had an argument, it's not important, about tonight. She didn't want me to do it. Anyway, of course, I told her I would. I have to. So, we had a fight, and then, things got out of hand, and before I knew it, she was gone from her body, and she'd gotten out somehow.
Oh, is she here?
No, she wouldn't come near here. God, not while she knows I'm so angry at her. I don't know where she is, but she left her body. I don't know how she knew how to do that.
Oh my. I see. Well, anyway.
So what does the book say?
The book says that when one is preparing major ceremonies to be very afraid of sailors, because sailors carry the will of the sea, and if you're doing a ceremony here on land, you don't want the sea mucking things up. So
we're a safe distance away.
I think it's best if I take my sailor friends here and we be on our way.
Well, you should get out of here. Your friend in conversation over there might find it a bit tougher to leave. And then he laughs. And then he goes back to the party. He transforms back into the form he was in before, and he goes back to the party.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I kind of I run up to the Marco brothers and I say, fellows, I believe I had an interesting conversation with one of them, and it appears that something wicked this way comes, and I'd rather not be here to find out.
So let's flash back to what's happening with Bo and James. So James, you heard Bo's voice shouting at you. Bo, you saw Joseph disappear.
Like disappear?
Well, you saw one of the native people look like they were leading him somewhere, and then you lost sight of him.
So they went to the woods.
Yeah.
He didn't just...
Yes. You lost sight of him. Yeah, so James.
Wait. So, where? What's going on?
I think the farmers are stealing things from your ship, boy. We gotta get back.
Oh, God. I throw the drink down and I head back towards my ship.
Okay, so you try and throw the drink down and turn to go, but and your mind wants to, but your body doesn't move.
Okay.
Can I drag him?
You can try. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try you can try to seize by force. Give it a go.
All right, I get 0 bonus, no bonus. But it was on the corner. 8.
8.
Oh.
So on 8.
Double 4s.
8.
Yes.
Where's that?
So you're trying to secure your hold on him to drag him out of the area. And since you've rolled an 8, you can choose 2 from the options on the list, and then the other ones will not be true. So take your pick.
I would just like to get definite hold of Jamie and be dragging him back towards the thing. And since I'm not that strong a man, while I'm cursing up a blue streak and shouting, hopefully I'll either dismay or frighten these partygoers with my language.
So are you trying to frighten the people running the party or the other farmers in the party?
The regular farmer type people, not the fancier. I mean, do they? The food looks fancy. I don't know if the people do. But you said there was a distinction between the two.
Yes, you can definitely tell the difference. So you're trying to basically snap the regular farmers out of their sort of like stupor that they are in also. Okay, so you grab a hold of James. And you start dragging him towards, to pull him out. And as you do, you're looking around and all these farmers are sort of, like, looking very confused and looking around also. And they look like they're trying to move as well. But they're having trouble. They also, like... a couple of them manage to get up. A few of them sort of like their eyes glaze over again, and they go back to what they were doing. And the strange looking people that are running the party, they start to look a bit worried. And they start to try, like they're trying to recapture the attention of the others, and but they don't look like they're able to physically stop you.
I'm gonna.
But they're trying to call out. No, tell us more about this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and keep dragging Jamie further away. I'm gonna yell for Joseph Spencer to come and lend a hand with the farmers.
So I think what you hear Bo calling to you as you're walking back out, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I'm terrified, and I just run towards the Marco brothers to try to cower behind them.
Yeah, well, it's tough because Bo is physically dragging James against his will, out of the glade.
Okay. I just run full speed. I'm just running.
Okay, so you're running back towards the village.
Civilization.
Yes. James, are you trying to do anything to sort of regain control of yourself?
Yeah, I am trying to head back towards my ship, so I am trying to help with the movement, but I'm just sort of, my legs are not working as well as they should. But I am attempting to, I don't want to be dragged, I want to be walking under my own power.
Do you want to try to act under pressure to sort of break out?
Sure, I will try that. Balance is 0. 9! Finally, it rolled.
Nice. So I can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. And I think I'll give this choice like sort of collectively to you, both Bo and James. So you can, James, you can regain control of yourself, and Bo, you can keep dragging him until he does, to get out of the glade. But if you do that, you know, by the time you get out, all the farmers are going to be back in the stupor they're in, and it'll be very difficult to get any of them out of there.
I'm going to basically loosen my hold on James and kick him in the ass and say, get back to your ship, and try and run back to where the farmers were, and hope that he keeps moving in that direction.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, so James, you sort of regain control. You're far enough away now, and you don't look back. Yeah.
My ship!
So, Bo, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to, whoever looks to be the lightest, closest to the farmers to me. First, grab and pull the ones that, seem to be not completely in the stupor. And other than that, if I can do it at the same time, try and read the situation to see if there's any hope for any of the others, or if they're just kind of...
You get the feeling that if you just grab as many people as you can and go, that's your best chance now. Just before the sun gets up, you've got to go quickly.
That's my move.
Yeah, that's your move. So do you want to sort of seize by force to see...
Sure.
Actually, no, I'm not going to make you roll for it. That seems...
Okay.
I think it's pretty... Your situation's pretty clear. So you manage to... You grab a hold of, like...
if there's children, I'd help the children first.
Yeah.
Softy.
Yeah, so you grab a little boy around the waist, you sling a girl over your shoulder, and you grab hold of one man, and like you can see the sun making its way up, and you just power your way out of there. And as soon as you get far enough away, they sort of blink and they open their eyes and look around them, and they just look very confused. Like they don't know what happened to them.
And any of the children and the man that we pulled out know who they are, or just villagers?
They know who they are. They just remember seeing some flickering lights.
And they walked off in the woods.
They walked off to see what it was, and that's all they remember. And the little kid's crying, and was with holding their mommy's hand. Where's mommy? That kind of thing.
No, I'll just tell the man to get the children home, and I'm gonna go back to find me brother at his ship.
James, you headed back to your ship? Is that where you headed?
Yes, I was just basically don't give a damn about any of the farmers. It's like yelled at me before. I'm just gonna head back towards my ship, and just as far as I know, it's under attack. I said, I've met his many faults. He's not a liar. So I'm heading back to my ship to save it from the evil farmers.
Yeah. So, as you're heading back to the ship, you pass by the store, and for a moment you flash back to that desire. You're like, this is my store. No, wait, it's not my store. And your mother pushes open the door of the store and says, Bliss, have you seen Bliss? Bliss is gone.